Okay, so there's a few things I have to explain before I get into the cheese spots. I'll just put this gameplay in the background as I explain. The first things first is that if the Sapsucker spawned close enough to a cheese spot where you can make it there before running out of stamina, you should always choose to aggro the bird by hitting it rather than stealing an egg. This is because when you steal an egg and stand in a cheese spot, the bird freaks out and keeps moving around a lot, making the kill take much longer than it needs to. But if you just hit it instead, then run to your cheese spot, you'll notice it moves around much less, and this can save you in-game hours because of how much faster it is. This will apply to every cheese spot coming forward, so you'll see that I prefer to hit the bird instead of steal an egg. Unless it's spawned too far from a cheese spot, in which case I don't have the choice. I have to wait for it to sleep and then steal an egg. The second thing I want to mention is that if you're trying to aggro with a shovel, which is generally the preference, you should always grab its attention, then back up to make it push you further. This makes it so that it basically walks closer to the cheese spot, so you don't have to run as far. The less you have to run, the safer the cheese spot is, because you make up for how far the bird is from the cheese spot, right? This is the difference between getting hit once or twice, or dying to the bird. The third thing is that when you're in a cheese spot and the bird can no longer track you, it'll try to go to the last spot on the ground you were standing on, the last bit of nav mesh you were on. This is pretty important, and I'll mention it later when it comes up. Okay, so for main, you can either stand on the main door, or you can stand in the corner to the left there, behind that rock. But there is something really important to note, which is that, as you saw there, when I was holding the egg, the Sapsucker was able to hit me even though I was on the main door, but as soon as I dropped it, it stopped attacking completely, it stopped even trying. Same thing happens on Vow Fire Exit when you stand on the fire exit door. So here it is, when the bird is aggro and I'm standing on the door, so long as I'm holding the egg, it will try to attack. But the moment I drop the egg, it stops trying to attack at all. Yeah, here I would have died if I wasn't in God mode, and as soon as I drop the egg, it stops trying. This is the main issue with stealing an egg, is that when you're standing on the cheese spot, the bird keeps moving, and it keeps moving out of your range, so you can't even hit it. That's why this type of kill just tends to take so much longer and wastes your time. As opposed to when I bait it with a shovel, sure, I might get hit once or twice at the start, but it literally saves me like an in-game hour or more because of how much faster it is. The bird doesn't try to move away. Of course, you can also use this corner at main, stand behind the rock. You just like step out to the right a little bit to bait it, and then it just stands there for you to kill it. Either use this or use the main door itself, both work just fine. Same thing if it spawns on the left side of main, like on the other side. You just either run to the rock, run to the main door, and just kill it. So, for Adamance, when the bird spawns on the fire exit, here you see that I grab its attention and then walk backwards to get it closer to me, then I hit it. The first spot is to use the bridge, and this is while the bridge is still up. You can just stand here and just keep inching closer until you can reach it. So even if the bird is this far away and I have to run like up a slope, it's kind of hard, right? But this is why you have to bait it further. So the closer the bird comes, the less you have to run and the less you get hit. Like, because of doing that, I only got hit 4 times. If I didn't do that, I would probably die. If the bridge is broken, you still do the same thing, but you just stand on the beam. So again, I walk backwards to attract it, to like get it to push me, and then I aggro it and jump on the bridge. You'll see here that I sort of jumped really far away from the little tip of the hill there, because I got boosted. So what I can do is jump back, and so it stands where I used to be. Like, it stands at the last spot I was. And so again, this is me trying the same kill again, and it's not standing close enough, and then it starts to walk away because I'm not hitting it. So I re-aggro it closer and it stands where I used to be, and now I can reach it. The next spot is right there to the left of the fire exit. The reason you would use this spot over the bridge is because maybe you don't want to break the bridge, maybe you want to keep it at full health. Here you'll see that I jumped off of the top, and that's the last bit of ground that I touched. It was at the top of the fire exit, right? So because I didn't touch any normal ground since, it's gonna go back up and try to track me at the top right there. You'll see that it's standing right where I jumped off. Now I try this again, and you'll see that if I jump and touch that ground right above me there, the Sapsucker still goes and stands right above me. Even when I hit it and aggro it, tries to come close to me, and then it goes right back up to where it was. So what I can do here is just jump on this little piece of ground, and now it'll just stand there. If the bird spawns down by the pit in Fire Exit, the pit right below Fire Exit, then you can just use the rock. And this rock right here, you can either steal an egg or hit the bird. You obviously have both options, and I'll show both real quick. First, I steal the egg, and as I said before, yeah, it just takes longer because the bird likes to move around a lot. And here it's like stutter stepping in a weird way. Like, okay, I get a few hits here, and then it just starts moving around and doing whatever, I don't even know. As opposed to when I hit it and it just stands still and lets me get a free kill. Occasionally you'll get a really bad spawn here where it's all the way at the bottom of the valley, so you have to wait for it to go to sleep. And then steal an egg. You have no time to waste, so you gotta sprint jump here. And then if you can make this little jump here to save time. And even with all that, you still kind of barely make it. Even if you juggle, if you do the little jump, if you do all that, you can barely make it to the safe spot. Next is Assurance, and the bird can spawn anywhere from fire to main, sort of along this pipe right here. But usually it spawns fire. That's fire most commonly I see. You can use either these pipes right here, right? Or this weird looking rock, or these pipes. But this rock is always the most consistent and easiest for me. If it spawns further down the pipe, you can use this big rock right here. That works great. And if it spawns near main, you can go up the ladder and use these two pipe things, or you can use this big rock. If it spawns by fire, you can use either these beams right here, or the rock over there in front of me. These beams work, and also the other beams, like in the other direction, work. But generally the rock is like the best spot by fire. It's just easier. Like it's only one jump. It's not a complicated jump or not something you can mess up. You know, these beams also work, but it's just harder. So if it spawns anywhere near fire, just use that one weird rock. As for between fire and main, right in the middle, you can use this scaffolding, or this small rock, or that big rock. Both of the rocks work great, but the scaffolding is just hard to get on, so I wouldn't recommend it. For main, there's like 3 possible spots, and I say possible because they're not great. It's either those 2 pipes at the top of main, or these little water silos, or this big rock. The main pipes are really bad. They're so inconsistent for me. These water silos are really bad, and that rock is the only thing that actually works for me. Like, you can kinda jump on these, but it's just so goddamn difficult to do it. It's so inconsistent for me, and you can't even really hit the Sapsucker while you're already up there. It just doesn't work, man. If you can somehow get this to work consistently, hey, be my guest. I do not like this. I saw this once and I tried it and like, man, this does not work. This is how you're supposed to use the pipes by main, but like, it's just so precise. Like, I had to jump so precisely there, exactly the perfect height, not too low or not too high, and it's just really tough. Like, if you try this yourself, you'll find that half the time it doesn't work, and this is what happens. You just get juggled on and off the ladder, and you just can't grab hold of the ladder. It's just really bad. My favorite spot for main Assurance is this little rock here. There's a surface you can stand on right there, on that side. You can't really make that jump normally, you have to get boosted up. So you just hit the Sapsucker and like, it'll hit you once or twice, it's fine. but then it'll just stand here and let you kill it. This spot is really easy and you have a lot of space here. It's just that like you have to get boosted up, you know? There's like a big space here you can stand on. But you can't really do this jump normally. Like even if I'm weightless, it's very hard to do consistently. Like even if I put it on 30 frames and 30 FPS, it's still really hard. So just, yeah, you're gonna get hit like once or twice, but it's much more consistent than the other two spots for main. Here it is again, just be on this side of the rock and just jump. It's really, really easy. It's also really easy to kill a Sapsucker on a Stormy moon because all you need is just any conductive item. Here I walk backwards so the Sapsucker walks into the shovel and then it gets struck, right? So now the Sapsucker aggroes on the shovel and it will never aggro me unless I get too close to its nest. So you don't have to worry about like being scared of the Sapsucker here. Just don't get close to its nest and you're fine. Here it is again, I just drop it at its feet and then walk backwards so that it walks onto the shovel. Also, on Assurance, you could wait later in the day until worms spawn to kill a Sapsucker with it since it's so much faster than killing it manually. The bird on Vow can spawn either at the top or down in the valley. And you have 6 spots total depending on where it spawns. If it spawns at the top, then you can stand on these little sides of the fire exit dam, sides of the bridge, and you're fine. Or you can go down to this water. Your other option is if it spawns further away from fire exit and closer to ship, then you can take it to this bit of water. I'll mention all of these in detail later. If it spawns in the valley, it can spawn either closer to fire exit or further away. If it spawns close, just use fire exit. If it spawns in the middle, you use the broken bridge. If it spawns further away, then the fence by main is your best bet. If it spawns all the way over here though, then I wouldn't risk it unless you have a jetpack. If you do have a jetpack, then you can just use the fence, just hit it to aggro it, and fly to the fence, right, get on, and then the bird will kind of just run around to the opposite side of the fence. It'll stand there for you to kill it. And same thing, if it just spawns closer to the fence, then you don't need a jet. You can just hit it and run over here. Then just jump, it'll boost you, and yep, it'll loop all around and stand still for you to kill it. Now if it spawns there, then your best bet is to use the bridge. The bridge is the safest and most consistent option. But the only disadvantage is, well, you have to break the bridge. And if you break the bridge, you lose a path to transfer. You just aggro the bird and then you jump on the bridge, either on the right or the left, and it just stands there for you to kill it. If it spawns close to the fire exit itself, you can obviously still use the broken bridge. It's still the most safe and most consistent method, but obviously you lose the bridge. Maybe you want the bridge to transfer from main or something, or to bait giants. So you, like, if it's close to fire exit, you could just use the fire exit itself and you'll only get hit maybe 2-3 times. So here I just aggro it and then I jump on the fire exit, but then it stops attacking when I just stand here. So what you gotta know is that it can hit you up here, it just won't attack to begin with once you're here. And then as long as you keep hitting it, it'll stand still for you to kill it. So if I don't hit it at all, it'll walk off and you'll have to do that all over again. Now if the bird spawns at the top, then you're either going to use the fire exit, right? You're going to use the dam, you're going to stand on these little side bits on the right. Or you could take the bird down to this bit of water, but I don't recommend it, I'll mention why later. As for the dam, if you do it right, the bird won't hit you because it's not looking at you, but if you accidentally move, it'll turn around and push you off. This wouldn't be an issue if I had jet, because I could just fly back up, re-aggro it, and kill it, but since I don't have jet, the bird is now perma-aggro, and if I get hit off, I can't go back up without being killed. So here I take a tiny step and the bird turns around and pushes me off. So after you get there, just don't move, that's all. It can also spawn on the opposite side, like on main side, and you just do the same thing. Just remember, don't walk at all, or it will turn around and hit you off. As for the water by the dam on the other side, it's much safer and more consistent than the dam itself. like, as you see here, I won't be getting hit. Like, it just can't hit me at all. I'm fully safe. But the big issue is that you can't actually get out of here after you're done killing it. You can't jump out. So you can only get out if you have a jet or an extension ladder. So this is my favorite spot in solo when I have a jet, but otherwise you can't get out of here. You're just trapped. Now, what if it spawns too far from Fire Exit? You won't be able to do the dam cheese safely, plus the dam itself is the riskiest option. So it's much better to just run the opposite direction to this bit of water right here. It's fully safe and you can't get hit, unlike the dam. Plus you can also just walk out fine after you kill the bird, so you don't need a jetpack or an extension ladder. Like the water at fire, you do need a jetpack or something. But this is just like one of the best spots there is. Also, this is a pretty funny spawn I got while just rolling to get the bird in different spots. Like, this is so rare that this is the first time I ever get it. And it's funny because I get some random generated rocks here that let me cheese the bird. But usually you would not be able to cheese it here. Like, if you see a bird here, don't go for it unless if you have jet and you can just bait it to main to the fence, but otherwise don't go for it. I somehow got this spawn again on a different seed, but there's no randomly generated rocks to save me, and so yeah, this little rock here doesn't work. So if you get Sapsucker here, you're just unlucky. Don't even go for it.